2 days ago, NASCAR didn't just lose a driver. It lost one of its most unforgettable figures. And now, what was already a heartbreaking story has taken an even deeper emotional turn. After days filled with shock, confusion, tributes, and endless questions from fans, the family of Kyle Busch has finally shared the official medical explanation behind his sudden passing. He was only 41 years old, still active, still competing, still showing up and delivering at the highest level of motorsports. In fact, he was expected to be part of one of NASCAR's biggest weekends, the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. But in a matter of days, everything changed. According to the family, the cause of death was severe pneumonia that progressed into sepsis, leading to rapid and overwhelming complications. It's the kind of medical situation that can escalate quickly, often faster than anyone realizes, and in this case, it proved devastating. At the same time, Childress Racing has made a powerful and emotional decision that shows just how much Kyle meant to the sport. They are not simply moving forward. They are not handing his iconic number 8 car to another driver. Instead, they're stepping back and preserving it, saving it for his son, Brexton. Today, we're going through the full story. The timeline, the warning signs that may have been overlooked, the emotional family statement, the terrifying 911 call details, and why one moment during a recent race now feels much heavier than it did at the time. Because this is no longer just about racing. This is about a man, a father, a husband, a brother, and one of the most intense competitors NASCAR has ever seen. Let's begin with what we now know. The family confirmed that what initially seemed like a minor illness quickly turned into something far more serious. Severe pneumonia developed and eventually progressed into sepsis, a life-threatening condition where the body's response to infection causes widespread damage. Their statement was clear, but also deeply human. They asked for continued understanding and privacy during this incredibly difficult time. That request matters. They're not asking fans to stop caring. They're asking for space to grieve something no family should ever have to process in public. Looking back now, the timeline is incredibly difficult to hear. Earlier in May, Kyle was believed to be dealing with what seemed like a sinus infection or cold. At the time, it didn't raise major concern. And honestly, in NASCAR, it wouldn't. Drivers race sick all the time. They race through pain, exhaustion, dehydration. Pushing through discomfort is almost part of the culture. And if there was one driver known for pushing through anything, it was Kyle Busch. Then came the race weekend at Watkins, Glen. During that event, it became clear that he wasn't feeling his best. Reports mentioned sinus pressure, coughing, and physical strain. Even the broadcast noted that the track conditions, especially the G-forces and elevation changes, were making things harder for him. Still, he pushed on. After the race, he reportedly asked his team to have a doctor waiting at the bus. He said he might need a shot, something to help him recover. At the time, that didn't seem unusual. Drivers often need treatment after tough races. But now, with everything we know, that moment feels different. It feels like an early warning sign. Despite all of that, Kyle didn't slow down. He kept racing. And just days later, he delivered what would become one of the most emotional moments of his career, though no one knew it at the time. He won the Truck Series race at Dover. Another victory, another celebration, another reminder of just how talented he was. But what he said after that win now carries a completely different weight. You never know when the last one is. At the time, it sounded like a veteran reflecting on how hard it is to win. Now it feels haunting because it truly was his last. Then came May 20th. That's when everything changed. According to details from a 911 call, the situation had become critical. Kyle was experiencing severe shortness of breath, extreme heat, dizziness, and even coughing up blood. The caller described him as being on the bathroom floor, awake but clearly in distress. That moment puts everything into perspective. This was no longer a driver pushing through illness. This was a full-blown medical emergency. He was rushed to the hospital. Soon after, it was announced that he would not participate in any upcoming events at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fans were worried, but still hopeful. Many believed he would recover, take some time off, and return to racing. But within hours, that hope disappeared. NASCAR, Childress Racing, and the Busch family released a joint statement that sent shockwaves through the entire motorsports world. Kyle Busch had passed away. The statement described him as a future Hall of Famer, a rare talent, a once-in-a-generation driver. And that description fits. His career numbers are staggering. Multiple Cup Series championships, dozens of Cup wins, hundreds of victories across NASCAR's top 3 divisions. In total, over 200 wins, more than any driver in NASCAR history across those levels. But statistics alone don't tell the full story. Kyle Busch was something more. He was polarizing. He was emotional. He was aggressive, passionate, sometimes controversial, but always real. Fans booed him. Fans defended him. Fans argued about him. But no one ignored him. Because every time he stepped onto the track, something interesting was going to happen. He made people feel something, and that's what made him special. Now, let's talk about the decision that has everyone in NASCAR talking. Childress Racing announced that Kyle's number 8 car will not be passed on to another driver. At least, not right now. Starting with the next race, the team will use a different number. The number 8 is being set aside, reserved, saved, for his son Brexton. That decision carries a lot of emotion. Because in NASCAR, numbers matter. They become part of a driver's identity, part of their story. And in this case, RCR made it clear no one else can carry that number the way Kyle did. So instead of replacing him, they're honoring him. Of course, in moments like this, speculation can spread quickly, especially online. Some have tried to connect his passing to unrelated legal matters or past controversies. But there is no verified evidence supporting those claims. The confirmed cause is already tragic and clear. A severe illness that escalated rapidly. That's the reality. And adding speculation only makes things harder for those closest to him. And that brings us to the most emotional part of this story. His family. Just days before his passing, Kyle shared a birthday message for his son, Brexton. It wasn't about racing. It wasn't about wins or championships. It was about being proud, about being a father. And now, that message carries a weight that's impossible to ignore. Brexton is only 11 years old, but he's already showing real potential as a racer. He's been competing for years, building his own path, and developing his own identity on the track. Still, this moment isn't about expectations. He shouldn't be expected to become his father. Not now. Not ever. He deserves time to grow, to grieve, and to choose his own future. The decision to save the number 8 for him is a beautiful tribute. But it should remain just that, a tribute, not pressure. Because if one day he chooses that path, if he steps into that car, it will be one of the most emotional moments NASCAR has ever seen. But that moment belongs to the future. Right now, what matters most is something much simpler. Family, support, healing. Kyle Busch's legacy isn't just written in record books. It's in his family, his fans, his impact on the sport, and a number that, for now, no one else will carry. NASCAR moves fast, but sometimes it stops. And this is one of those moments. Rest in peace, Rowdy.